It's a very like substance where you grab it specific look, but at the same time, kind of take a sliver of time of the day. So, you know, there was sight, there was sound, there was smell.
It's a super.
Yeah, then you can use dash image in the background.
What I was saying is always the guy like one of these something like that. Get it more, and I'm like, no.
Four, but it's not mine. Oh, Jackson. I lived in Australia.
My name is Justin Oliphant. If you haven't gotten my emails, maybe I'll just email you after this and you'll get a lot more of them. But thank you for being here. We're excited to get things going. We have a couple special things that we want to do. First and foremost, Fordela, who is housing us. And Jason, why don't you come on over here? This is Jason from Fordela. This is his house, and it's an absolutely wonderful place. And so we wanted to say thanks. And if you want to say hey to everyone.
Hey everyone!
Yeah.
So thank you guys all for coming out and participating. We're really excited to kind of be a sponsor of the event, and we're really excited to see what you guys are going to be able to create. Just quick background on our office space and what we're doing here. We're a B2B video platform, so we specialize in high-value video content. So for example, movie studios, producers, filmmakers use our platform for secure distribution of media. So think of it as a kind of YouTube on steroids, specifically for the filmmaking community. So as part of that, we're really encouraging all of you to use the platform over the weekend. So if you do need to put any content online, if you're looking to transcode, if you're looking to stream, if you need to do embedding tools, please feel free to use our platform. You can find it at www.fordela.com. Little button in the top right that says free trial. Log in there, you'll be good all weekend long. So please, if you want to use it, feel free. Myself, Giselle, Danny, a bunch of other employees of Fordela will be around all weekend long, so we're all here to help you guys and kind of guide you through the process. A couple of housekeeping notes. Obviously, we're really happy to have you guys all in our space, and we'll kind of work out all the logistics. We're speeding up the internet right now and figuring out the bathroom situation, but there will be somebody from Fordela here all weekend long. So if you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask us.
Cool.
Questions? Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Yes. Go ahead.
Say hi to and everybody say hi to Transmedia Jam Remote.
Ah, yes.
Wow.
So we have two remote teams that are joining us in the Transmedia Jam. So they'll be getting the same rules and regulations as to what you guys are getting, and they'll be kind of with us throughout. So, hey guys.
So we have a Seattle team and a Vancouver.
Does this mean we're going to skydive out of an airplane too? Yeah. Okay. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear him well? Yeah. Can you hear him well? Just say yes.
As we mentioned, we have Fordela. We also have X2 TV. And
guys.
they're actually here today to help us out and get us things going. We also have Social Samba and Conductor. It's weird to feel like I'm like talking to them and you guys.
I'll try to invite Robert, but he's gone to sleep maybe.
Oh, okay. We also have, if you guys got those paddles, that's Clean Slate, and there's just some fun things to play around with. And also maybe useful this weekend. We also have Nos energy drink as well as Lagunitas and 5-hour energy drink. And so throughout the weekend, 5-hour Nos and Lagunitas will be available. And that's those are our sponsors. And so thank you to every single one of them because they help make this all possible.
Cool. Yeah, and X2TV will be here too throughout the weekend to help you guys if you want to try to use our platform. We overlay engaging icons on video, on top of video, using overlays in the icons. So we'll be here tomorrow as well as for this evening. So take advantage of us. We're here to help.
So there's 3 folks from X2 TV. Raise your hands, guys. Mike, Jean-Piero, and Marissa. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So mine, I wanted to make a big circle. Stand up. Come on in.
And you guys are part of that circle.
Yeah, you guys are remotely circling. All right. You've got these little cards here, and these are your badges. And on the badges, it gets an idea of like the kind of experience that you have. And
By
so,
the way, I have more. Sorry. By the way, guys. Sorry about that.
so anyway, why don't we bring you guys all in? Everyone in the circle. There's like a whole area right here.
We don't
You're in the circle. Get in here. You guys may be part of it. We want to know what your backgrounds are as well, right?
Okay.
Sure. All right. We'll still circle it up.
I think we too.
I think. Why don't we just kind of scoot some of you guys just down that
I
way?
think we didn't want to cut off the video.
Oh, here, just like I said, this first part is just to get an idea of some of the different skills that we all have. Because this event is kind of new and we're trying to figure out what's going on, we want to figure out the community. And we want to figure out the backgrounds that people have. And so we will all be working together, we will all be kind of developing and creating stories together. So to get an idea of the backgrounds with people, let's figure it out. So if you've got, starting at the top here, if you've got photography skills, why don't you go ahead and take a step forward.
Which degree
Yeah,
of
photography
skill?
skills?
It doesn't matter if you've done it. I mean, like, if you've got any sort of photography skills, if you like, and actually maybe everyone keeps in the circle and just raise your hand. That'll be way easier, right? Yeah, the paddles. You guys all have paddles, right? Who's with the paddle?
Do we have those?
All right, so photography skills. Who has photography skills? Raise my hand. Okay. Up. All right. Great. Okay. So animation. Who's done or has animation skills? Ohio. Yeah.
They all found each other.
Awesome. What about photo editing? Have you Lightroom, Aperture, things like that? Excellent. Okay. How about video production? Yeah, big video groups. Great. Okay. Sweet. How about post-production video? Yeah. All right. Cool. What about producing? Of any sort? Yeah. All right. Great. Acting. Come on, actors. Yes. There we go. I mean, that's nothing big, right? We can all act. Theatrical direction. Come on, theater direction. Have you done theater direction? No? No? Yeah. Great. Prop and costume building. Anything? Yeah. Great. Yep. Sweet. Cool. Musicians? Any musicians here? Can I ask what do you guys play?
Tuba.
Tuba? Ukulele? Guitar?
Viola and digital.
Yeah, cool. Anyone else? Musicians?
She plays the viola. She's fine.
I'm curious. I mean, it's sort of one of
What
those
do you
things that's
play?
like musician. That's sort of like a random. What is it? Vocals? Nice. Great. Sorry. All right. I was just curious. Sound designers? Yeah. Come on. Yeah. What about graphic designers? And game designers? Yeah. Keep them up. Yep. In the back. Hey, Beth. Web coding. Any background in web coding? What about app development, app coding, things like that? iOS? Android? Yeah? All right, cool. All right. Writers. Who here's a writer?
That should be everybody.
Yeah, come on. Great. Anyone who's got some skills with time management? Good, because you're going to need it. We got 24 hours, okay? So this is great. As you can see, we've got a large variety of people here and that can do all sorts of different skills, okay? So this next part that I want to get people engaged in here is really this idea of encouraging you to start thinking about transmedia franchises and storytelling, okay? So with this, the idea is that I'm going to break you guys all up into groups of about 4 to 5, okay? You'll have 10 minutes to get to know one another, to kind of just chat, get to introduce, talk, and then I'm going to come by and I'm going to give you guys a franchise. Let's say one I won't give, like Star Wars, okay? I'll give you Star Wars, and then you've got your group of 4 to 5 people, and you'll start talking about different ways you can actually expand that universe and start telling a bigger, larger story with that particular franchise that I give you, okay? And so start thinking about different platforms you could use, whether it may be like webisodes, maybe it might be using like Facebook, maybe it might be like, different apps, things like that. And it's just an opportunity to kind of get to know your group, and then at the end of that 10 minutes, we're going to break up, or you're going to stay in your groups, and we're going to just ask if anyone has anything that they want to share. If not, we're going to then break up those groups, and you're going to go to new groups, and you'll be given a brand new franchise, and you're just going to keep going around like that for a little bit to get to know one another. The point of this is to start figuring out who you want to be teamed up with, okay? So at the end of all this, the hope is that, some of you may know each other, some of you may not know each other, but you'll be all creating groups, and you'll be figuring out who you want to work with, who's thinking in the right ways that you want to be working with, and so it's just kind of get to know one another, okay? So is everyone clear on what you're going to be doing? Mm-hmm. Any questions?
No, one thing though before we start, so we actually have some mentors in the house, some
right.
transmedia professionals. So maybe the mentors can take a step forward.
Please, yeah.
Come on in.
So we do have 3 mentors that are going to be with us, and these people will be actually in your groups as well, and they'll be thinking of franchises and just getting to know one another. But once you guys actually start building and starting to tell your stories, they'll be around to help tell stories, and they'll be there to kind of mentor you. And so, do you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves? I mean, this is, sorry.
Corey, my background is as a journalist, multimedia producer, and writer, so dipped into a bunch of different fields, and I think I'm mainly going to be useful probably in story feedback. So use me as, however I can be helpful, just tap my brain.
I hope you guys know as well, I mean, these 3 mentors that we have here are incredible. Corey's being very, very humble about him and his abilities, but you'll probably see very quickly that he's got a great background, and the 3 of you guys are just absolutely incredible. So I'm happy to have you guys here, and I'm happy to be able to get your guys into these groups. So
our bios are on the website.
Yeah. I mean, if you want the full list of...
If you just want to know more about, all of our disciplines, I guess you can look
Sure.
on the website.
Yeah, and...
At least transmedia productions, we work with creative people and help them expand to different platforms, come up with strategies.
I'm also Antonio, by the way, from Innovent as well, and we're transmedia production, so basically we work with artists, filmmakers, musicians, anybody, and really try to just create the transmedia story. And I think that one of the things that we really try to focus on is that transmedia is really, it's not just an idea and a concept, it's something that can really apply to, I guess, any type of communication. I think that that's something that's really kind of important to us, and I think this is wonderful and really glad to be here. Just from a skill set, at least is more on probably the ideas and marketing, and probably more on the tech side. So just we both do all of it. So
these guys will be here to help you. I mean, all the 3 of them. You guys will be here tonight, and are you guys? You'll be here tomorrow?
Parts of tomorrow.
And parts of tomorrow. So they'll be here as well through parts of tomorrow, and as well we'll actually have the platforms here to help you, through the platform development if any of you guys choose that platform. Okay? Great. All right.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Yay.
So the first thing is, let's go ahead and break up into those groups of 4 to 5, all right? And as well, I want to encourage the members of the Transmedia SF group, so we've got Beth and Paul and Maya. Yeah, they'll be joining your groups. We'll be all kind of getting to know one another and kind of testing things out. So go ahead and break up, all right?
So wait.
10 minutes for
She didn't speak yet.
What's that?
She didn't
no,
speak.
I'm fine. I have
said
all I need to say. Okay, so we'll break into groups. You guys want to?
You guys have 10 minutes, okay? You got 10 minutes to get to know you, know one another. The franchise that you'll have is Back to the Future, okay? So that'll be
Michael Fox thing.
Michael J. Fox, right? And so really, once again, it's this idea of how would you develop the larger world of Back to the Future, okay? Great.
So what are we supposed to do?
And your name?
Just introduce. It was very efficient.
You can start transmitting this here. So once you guys finish,
there's not really a lot of public transportation happening.
What was that?
There's not a lot of public transportation to happen.
do an introduction, and then once you have
Okay.
so this is
Oh, excuse me. So what your world around this franchise that everybody knows, and yours is going to be Harry Potter. So, and this is actually a tough one because it's a huge franchise already, right? So how would you make it differently? And if you're having trouble with it, let us know and we can come back. And I'm sure you're going to be expert on this, but think about what you would do, and I'll come back and check out what you're about.
Like I said, the manager in a restaurant, you gotta know how to cook, you gotta prep food, you gotta wash food, you gotta take orders.
Yeah, I understand when you like to do this.
From a company that does mobile TV solution, we immediately had the opportunity to add this content overlaid on top of the video itself. So actually, our technology enable you to add any type of content on top of the video, but usually we keep, let's say, the linear flow of the video. So it's not really, you can use it in a non-linear way, but it's more designed really to people to interact with the video, but at the same time enjoying it in the relaxed way. So if you interact with
video on video.
most of the time now you click, you get more information, or maybe you participate voting, or a quiz or whatever, and it's so you can time actually broadcast. Sorry?
It's to be aligned with something like a broadcast model where you're looking at either a live stream or something.
Yeah, this was the beginning.
Jumping back and
Yeah, this was the beginning was like this. Then actually we are using now in a different, in very different context. One is like brand video, so actually like it's video advertising, video commerce. So you have the video, you overlay the call to action on top of the video, and but the idea is to design the technology that you don't overwhelm the video with content, with additional content, but at the same time is to make a video a dynamic stuff. So usually now on the web you have the video, you publish it, that will be forever. Yeah. With our platform, because I mean, changing the video is complex, but on the contrary, changing the overlays is totally easy. I mean, it's just a drag and drop, it's just you write the text. So you can evolve the video and the content days after day.
So I mean, who decides? Is it based on audience engagement, or is it based on whoever produced that show?
It's, I mean, our customer, as I said, are like carriers. They use the technology because instead of having just the pipe for the video, they also have the pipe for the metadata or interactive stuff. Or could be a producer, a content producer, sometimes a broadcaster, or on the marketing side is brand marketers, this kind of people. And now, I mean, we are, let's say, trying to address the needs of the transmedia world because, I mean, it's interesting because, of course, exactly. So it's something that, I mean, it's a perfect fit from a certain need. I mean,
now to redirect us back to the Harry Potter subject.
Yeah, exactly.
We should do something for Muggles.
I don't want to release the
We need to do something for Muggles.
Muggles?
Yes, their university looked down upon in this whole series.
Tell me which one Muggles was. I'm not good with all the characters now.
What, do like a mockumentary against, like from the Muggles' point of view?
Just do it, yeah. Like, what's life like being a Muggle? Because that's what we all are here, right?
I like it. I say, yeah, we do like a mockumentary and we're like Muggles' rights.
And we can have like we can have wizards like dipping interns and stuff, but we don't want to be wizards.
Yeah.
So how do we work Harry through this so it's just in the same universe?
It could just be a slightly alternate universe, like it's, I mean, or another perspective of it.
Well, it's like everything that exists in the universe exists in our universe. We're the Muggles.
But we still have to have
the
elements as of like magic.
So that tips into our existence, and occasionally we run into, like we see somebody running into in the train station. We see them running towards something and disappearing.
We could do something like
mystery.
Yeah.
Just all of that magic going on around us.
But you know, they're so against Muggles and the bad things they say about Muggles. We could be like
We kind of take it up, make it more personal. Because Harry has a son now who's going to school. There's probably some other ancient people that's trying to get back at him. So something happens to his son where he has to kind of dust off the old line and call the gang that he never called.
Is Harry Potter's son?
Harry Potter's son. Harry Potter's last name. Saw the movie.
Oh, I didn't see the last one.
You said, I actually saw all 8. You said, yes.
No, you know what? I actually went to it and I fell asleep.
Well, we're doing the ending for you, okay? Yeah, he has a son. So they all have kids, so all the kids are in trouble, so we have to kind of call the old gang back together.
No, I like the idea of the mockumentary game too, because I mean that's like, I think that ties in really nicely with it.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about is like an alternate reality game or something like that, where like you take on your role in your real life, and suddenly there are wizards about, there be wizards, and perhaps you will find your way to England or to whatever.
Wouldn't it be fun to have
a prize?
And to like go to some castles or something. But wouldn't it be fun, you know, the augmented reality apps? So it enables maybe the Muggle to see life in the wizard.
I was thinking exactly the same. I was thinking exactly about this. I mean, the idea is that I mean, depending on augmented reality and location. So if you are in a room, you get some type of, I mean, like you see what is in there, you move in another place, you see something else, but it's still tied to where you are. So to give you the feedback that you really experience something like a presence there, and then when you move away, you don't.
And then to tie in your idea, to tie in his idea, maybe it could go on into the future. Like, would you like have
the story, connect more significantly with the story.
We want to make something like you, so we don't want to like really recycle the old stuff. We probably do something new.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Okay, done.
But just like
Look at the ring tune or something.
There with our devices.
Exactly. If you're actually physically at that location, do you get some other piece of the story about the sun?
Yeah, that could be that the evil is scattered across different areas. So that's the,
You have to go there to stop it.
It affects different like mobile devices, like cell phones,
Yeah.
The evil could even be the reason.
Yeah, you talked to yeah.
on Twitter and stuff. I'm the community manager.
Yeah. High fives.
Cool. Welcome.
Hi everyone.
Robert, what time is it?
3 a.m.
Oh. Wow. All right, you have your coffee with you, I hope.
We can send you some NOS.
Alright everybody. And your group came up with an idea that you thought was pretty cool, or whatever it is, it's a good chance to share it. So does any group want to share what they Paul?
I really like our mentor's idea, so good job.
What was it? Well, what was your franchise?
Our franchise was Back to the Future.
Okay, and so what was the idea?
So the idea was we all as kids, when the year came around, it was the future. That's not being released. Don't believe those videos. That's all fake.
Awesome.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It helps to kind of drive people into other points of entry, which is a big part. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Can you start?
Fine.
Can you start again?
Hi, Seattle.
Hi, you guys. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, Seattle.
Just, now there's some people talking, so maybe just listen for.
Pilgrim versus the World as our our franchise. We came up with kind of a fun idea, which would be for a social network in which you create an avatar for yourself, including like superpowers or what have you. And if you were since Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is kind of about overcoming, your whoever's exes, you might become exes with somebody, and then people would have to battle you in this social network, just to get at your friend, for example.
Yeah.
So that was something that we came up with, and yeah.
That's awesome.
We had Harry Potter.
All right, Harry Potter.
So we decided that Muggles, people who aren't aware of magic, this evil entity would affect maybe your mobile device, like an iPhone or an iPad. And then when you used the camera view on it, you would notice different things about it. And it's kind of like you had to try and work your way to certain items and stuff. And eventually along the way, you would end up at Hogwarts and run into Harry's kids. And then like this evil entity, it's manipulating you to find Harry's kids, and then also to find Harry Potter towards the end, And it's not just you, it's other people too, because it needs to go different areas, so it's affected different devices. And there's a certain
using augmented reality to see the world through the wizard eyes rather than the muggles.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Awesome.
I'll talk about if you're going to be a good character and evil character. And we actually talked about using X2TV as like a live poll, so you can see as more people play the game who's choosing which path, and you can RSVP to like different events actually involving the community and the city, and kind of setting the city up as like the game board to the Lord of the Rings transmedia event.
Nice. All right.
We had Hamlet, and there's the ghost of Hamlet's father, and kind of Hamlet, if I recall correctly, he's like, at first when he like first sees his father, he's kind of like thinking that he's crazy too, but so maybe there could be this service where you put in your phone number and you get random phone calls throughout the day from the ghost of, your father or Hamlet's father or something that would like tell you things, or it could be lines from the play or other things that might relate more to your life based off of whatever.
Cool. Awesome. Great. All right. So let's mix up. Let's do another one. All right? There's a lot of franchises to get to, people. All right, so new groups, brand new people. This is an opportunity to...
Two more, maybe.
2 more? Yeah?
We're just talking.
Okay. Well, I haven't
Intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Mike. I actually just moved here. I just moved to San Francisco about a month ago.
Oh, you did? From where?
Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
And I was working in about
placement for 3 years. So I come from a sort of production background, although I actually worked, I worked in production mostly in college, but in product placement is more the business / production side. So we found creative ways to integrate brands into storylines. And that's what our agency did. And so I guess
So it was like an agency that came to you in order to come up with a strategy.
yeah, so we helped brands get into onto sets and into the storylines, and also do partnerships with studios and to do bigger promotional things. And I guess that's what funds all these marketing initiatives.
Yeah. So was your client both the studio and the brand?
It depends. So it depends. So product placement is more for brands, while production resources is more for production. Yeah. So it depends. We help. So, yeah.
How's it going? Good. Ready for a franchise? Sure. I mean, keep chatting. Well, that's his favorite character. Yeah.
That's his favorite character.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna give you guys, let's see here. You guys all know Ender's Game? No?
I know Ender's Game. It's a great book if you guys get
Indiana
a chance.
Jones?
Yes.
Indiana Jones?
Card about, it's set in the future, and it's about like these elementary school kids who are like super smart. They're put in the gifted program, but in the gifted program all they do is like play video games. But then it turns out that the video games are this bigger thing, and then I don't want to tell you because then I would ruin it. Ender's Game, it's absolute so much fun.
Sure.
And what was your?
I was more of on the reporting side. So we actually tracked how many times a brand appeared in TV shows, literally people watching hours and hours of television, and just making sure that the brands that we placed on certain productions made it on there. So, and then we would take the value of that placement and then put it into, and then report it back to the brand. So,
we have a puppet guy with no strings.
Good skill.
Yeah.
I kind of did it.
I love puzzles and like real life experiences, things that are immersive. I love things that are placed in cities, like real time interaction with people.
What's the word I'm looking for? Experiential, sort of.
I'm an experience junkie. I like trying new things, and trying new things in like large, organized, creative contexts. Super fun. I consider this like one of those types of things. I do like puzzle hunts and a bunch of puzzle hunts are like a particular form of scavenger hunt where every like mission is actually pretty like tightly constructed. It's like an interlock.
So that's why transmedia. It's kind of the same thing, putting different pieces.
Yeah, like some puzzle hunts are super like plot based and story based too. A lot of them
So
aren't.
it's like a mission based.
Yeah, so each thing, you have a mission, and that mission can incorporate elements of geography, or like, there might be actors there that you have to go and interact with. You have to find the man with the newspaper and tell him the secret code, and he gives you the suitcase.
I just never heard that word for when we did the pandemic, there was actors running around.
I was at Sundance when the pandemic was going on, yeah.
And we had these clues that you had to find objects that belong to people who caught the disease, and you go and you get to mission control and find the cure in the bottle. That was like something.
I didn't participate in I came to Mission Control after it was done. But there was another really fun thing at Sundance, which is like, you're like on the phone and it's telling you as you walk through the streets, like, you know, on your right is like the house where you need to meet your contact. You know, there's a car parked here, the door will be unlocked, step inside, and you like, and you're like robbing a bank is the whole like experiential thing.
Was this at the last?
This was it was the same as pandemic, like 2 years ago.
You know, I didn't actually step out with my content.
I'm sure. It
Because
was
we were like running
utterly
all this, I didn't see one film.
super complex. Yeah.
And last year we didn't see one film either. It's not like when you're a film director and it's like all the hard work's done.
Yeah.
It's like,
You actually have to be.
someday I'll go to the festival and watch films.
So my background, I do like experience design and party design and puzzle design, but my like background is I write code and I create things with code. Yeah.
Where do you write?
Currently, I work at Twitter, which is like a mile out.
Just got a new office.
We just moved to a new office. It's like nice over there. Yeah, it's mid-market, the Tenderloin. Your turn.
I'm here to videotape the event.
Are you going to participate in that? You give us this footage when you're done.
Exactly, that will be my contribution.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That person will get the footage. But like last time there was at least 50 showed up, or 60. Yeah, last month 60 showed up.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I had an idea.
Okay, good.
One of my favorite scenes from Indiana Jones is when he changes the idol. You know what I'm talking about? So I forget what it is, maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark. So he's in the temple. This is like the beginning of the one. And he's about to take this idol out of this temple. And he has to put something the same weight. And so he has this bag of sand.
Right.
And he's measuring and then he like switches them and he's like, yes, I got it. And then it like lowers and a gigantic rolling ball comes after him and there's a scene of him running with the ball. I love the idea of creating like a place where somebody has to come in and take an idol but exchange it for something that's maybe not the same in
the brand integration and then what's going to be in the bag of sand.
Well, so it's like you have to like create some item to like exchange for the last thing that was placed there. So, and it'll be done in sequence. So this could be, I imagine it as part of like a series of experiences, like in a puzzle hunt or something, where you're like, oh, now you've come to the place where you have to exchange the item. But in order to exchange it correctly and take it, you have to create something that will replace it and become the new idol. And so like maybe there's like a stash of like craft materials or art materials or something that you have to fashion your new idol out of.
I like it.
I love the idea also, kind of like this telephone dictionary idea, where you're creating.
Oh, like somebody from the maybe somebody from the outside has to tell you what it is that you have to do. Maybe it's like on live.
I mean,
the audience has to tell you.
Do you want it to be an actual object, or could it be virtual?
It could be virtual. It could be in person.
I guess.
Then it takes that real life experience you love.
Well, I also love it could be that the last person who took the item, whatever it was, has to describe what has to replace it to the next person who comes.
Right.
So they take like a physical or a virtual like designed object and then translate it into words for the next person to create.
It could be a series of riddles or quizzes that they have to answer, and then it unlocks this thing that weighs exactly the same, like the sandbag, I guess.
That's good too. That's actually makes sense.
And to answer the questions appear on different media forms. So you can get a question like via text message, you can get questions via email, you can get a tweet about a message, you can get or a question, and if you answer all these questions right, then it'll unlock the digital sandbag or the location.
It still stays intact.
You get a call saying sandbag is located in this, and then you go get the sandbag.
And then you have to wait for.
And maybe there's like a code in inside the sandbag that unlocks a virtual version that you then.
Yeah, if it took place in San Francisco, then you'd have to like clues about going to the fairy godmother's
Yeah.
what it is you have to get from, maybe it's a fruit that weighs the same as the island.
Right.
And then you get from the audience the actual location where you can exchange that fruit for them. And did you get the right fruit? I don't know, something.
Are there other things where there is actually an audience watching somebody in reality interacting? The audience actually calls in to talk to them.
I mean, that's we've done that a few times, and it's really great.
Dating game that we've tentatively titled Two Plumbers, One Princess. There would be one princess, and there would be two or more or whatever. They would have like a mixture of
dating game show.
Dating game show. That's true. Dating game show. So it's not just like setting people up, but they also have like an obstacle course they have to go through and a flag they have to grab at the end or something. And the princess can choose to extend it or choose the guy, or
she can choose to be found in the next castle and continue on to the next round, or she can choose whichever suitor.
And for the obstacles, imagine like Wipeout or American Ninja.
Right.
Yeah, nice. That's great.
Cool.
Anyone else want to share franchise and ideas?
Okay.
Oh, Elle.
So we had Angry Birds, and we're trying to find some social good of how we can raise some discussion amongst the worldwide audience and to kind of tip the balance in favor of angry or not angry, and if we can tip the balance in favor of being not angry, then maybe they live in a nice little paradise. But the bringing up some important issues, like legalizing marijuana or gay marriage.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Great. Any other ideas?
Want to talk about our Lego conspiracies?
Oh, sure. So we had Legos, and every 6 months Legos comes out with a new theme of Legos, and in every box of Legos there's always extra pieces. So we thought we would start having extra pieces in each box that had some sort of code on the bottom of them, so they wouldn't actually fit where they're supposed to, and you'd turn around and look at the bottom and there'd be like little code. And the code would take you to a site where there's all sorts of clues about whatever the next theme is. Or we thought potentially there would suddenly be an theme, so all the themes that you got pointed towards this new big Lego thing. And then the other idea that we had was that the pieces would start combining, and you could find a real world location where when you combined all the pieces, you could like stick it into a wall and there.
That's great.
We want this.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else? Anyone else want to share? Yeah, do it. Be confident. I believe in you.
Tron's a hard one because it's just, they already had such a big transmedia part of it.
Right.
The Tron game. But I guess, the two things that stuck out the most is obviously like the game part of it. I don't know, like the disc game. If you're thinking of a Connect-based, like Microsoft Connect.
Yeah.
You could have actually two people really playing in virtual world game and making some physical devices that would have haptic feedback, like touch feedback. So you could actually feel the discs moving, and they're more virtual kind of, because it was just, like, as a kid, Electron was the most cool thing ever.
Right.
I love that. And then the other one I think is obvious, but it's just a good one, would be, because there's such a gap between the two stories, helping to fill out that gap in a million ways in which you could, through everything, books, short series, anything, just filling in that gap between what happened to the main character when he was in that world, 25-year gap. A lot of story to be told in that gap. So that's just like open for, could go on with that one for indefinitely, but I think
that's great.
Cool.
All right. Last chance. Anyone else?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. You came a little late, but I'm Sam. This is Tanya, and we were assigned My Little Pony. Which we actually happen to know is pretty big among college guys, surprisingly. But it's not really serving that market as well as it could be. So we came up with the My Little Stallion spin-off series, which is the alternate universe of My Little Ponies, and that would be like, it's like a whole other franchise worthy of exploring.
Nice. Cool.
All right.
Great. Last chance, and then we'll kind of break up. No? All All right, everyone, new groups. Here we go.
All right. All right. Let's get you in another group here. Wait, you guys got it? Are you guys good?
I'm Brian.
How's it going?
Moved from LA. I was in product placement for 3 years. And I actually am also here with X2 TV. And we basically have a technology, a studio basically, where you can overlay interactive icons on top of video, icons and also text and overlays. So it just gives video a little more depth and the ability to tell sort of the concept of video in a different way. So that's why we're involved with transmedia. And yeah, so I mean, I'm not a huge tech person. I don't come from a tech background, more of the, I guess, creative side of storytelling. So yeah, that's why.
And I've written about 50 books on different subjects, and I've written some feature scripts. And I also have produced about 40 short videos, mainly as a writer, and producing some of the things that I've done with the music videos, documentaries, and they're on.
So what are the things that
I don't know much about transmedia, but I have done games before in the past before technology existed like this.
My name's Elizabeth. I have a background about chemistry. I'm starting to open mic in the city, play ukulele. But what I'm really passionate about is using transmedia to promote creativity in youth in America. By getting famous artists to accompany them with those songs that they have made, and then supporting local economy with your music and school event.
Hey guys, so welcome to your third group, second for you guys. So this is going to be, your franchise this time is going to be Donkey Kong.
Oh, like an actual band?
So create your story world.
Bananas.
Yes. My name's Sam, as I said a little while ago. I'm a game designer, freelance, so I do game design for mobile apps specifically, and I can build the whole app. So I can design, program, art, whatever's necessary to make it reality, and I love games.
I kind of come from the same area, not so game design heavy. I actually have more of a programming art type background, but I'm switching more towards all art right now. And that's
okay. Oh, yeah, she's the production.
Okay. Could somebody just refresh my memory on what Donkey Kong, the basic storyline is?
So you're like this giant monkey. I think people have a misconception that he's like this evil guy that's kidnapped a princess, but the story's actually like Mario like pissed him off or something. And then, isn't that's what I heard.
This is a misconception.
There's no donkeys, right?
No, it's like a giant monkey.
It's from Mario.
And he's like, it's like these platforms, and he's at the very top, and you're playing as Mario, and you're running and like jumping over barrels and stuff to get to the very top.
But he's actually a big ape.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you. Maybe you can find a photo. Donkey.
I think I played this years and years ago.
Yeah, it's very.
And actually create an interactive platform where
every time I'm a screenwriter, go way back.
Yeah, like
I worked in real time
like montage of like different Tarantino movies. Actually, you get to watch
So that's interesting because it's not actually creating something transmedia, but it's like showing the transmedia aspect of the Tarantino universe.
And what these people can do is actually navigate on their own which direction they want to go to within the timeline and within the universe, and then actually jump to various movies. Like if it's a movie within Pulp Fiction, you can hop onto a different planet.
And it's sort of like being John Malkovich. And you've seen that film? It's just like being in Tarantino's head, and he's such a connoisseur of filmmaking. I mean, that's a great angle. And he has so many. I mean, he so studies filmmaking that it would be really wonderful to understand how his universe was created by stepping into those movies
subtitles and seeing how he would rewrite them, or what references he was lifting. That would be really just.
I like this because the thing about Tarantino is nobody really gets who this guy is. It's so complicated, and also we could include not only the movies but maybe his inspiration. Talking about comics and
he studied very thoroughly history.
And even in Inglourious Bastards, there's so many references to I saw
It's fun to go into the store and have them playing the Beatles song, and then you're like, oh, and then you have them nice things. So starting to do something we did. Like this is somebody called them.
I think because I find like when watching for like reminders, sometimes I'll be 2 blocks away and I'll get the reminder. Sometimes they won't get it until like I'm right at my door.
Can I do that without a phone? I just want to go fishing in that class because I don't like fishing at all.
There's things where you have to like boat out to some like island in the middle. There's like
But we can incorporate all of them.
What are some of the ideas? Anything that people like in particular? Anyone?
Sure.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
All right. So we had Donkey Kong.
What's that?
Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And so we thought of you, and you're prompted to download the app, and the app will tell you where the next quarter will be to continue the game on the arcade. And then you have to go to the point where the app tells you to go, and then you see a clue where Donkey Kong was in the real world, and then you take the quarter where that clue was, and then you go back to the arcade and keep playing the game until you get the next clue. So, so the arcade is sort of like the central point of the story, but it'll take you to different places.
And he's escaped. It's kind of gotten larger and become.
That's great. Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a Kill Bill, and I guess there's this like Tarantino culture where people have written about movies within this Tarantino universe, where Kill Bill is actually part of like a movie within Pulp Fiction, and I think it's said that the main character that Brad plays is actually a great-great-grandfather of Butch. And so we wanted to create an interactive kind of website where people can navigate through the Tarantino universe to kind of like be in his brain, kind of like being John Malkovich, and actually let people figure out how every movie connects within his universe. And at the same time, we allow people to really interact with it by leaving ideas like why this character is here, kind of like Esmeralda within Pulp Fiction. She has one scene, asks Butch about how it is to kill a man, but that's it, it's questionable. And so we want people to leave inputs, and maybe Tarantino can answer it or kind of build off of that from another movie. And so that's kind of what we came up with.
Wow. Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. Nice. Good job, guys. Anything else? Any other ideas that we want to share? Go.
So,
Yeah.
we thought about doing kind of live action. We had Legend of Zelda. So
Okay.
we're thinking live action Legend of Zelda in Golden Gate Park with like little stalls set up and like a GPS app to help you like figure out where you need to go next. So you can collect like get clues to get the magic sword from the correct booth and things like that. There's like a fly fishing thing where you can go down to it's like a little pond you can go fishing, and we also thought that it might be cool to also just do it around like a city as well, and have like little mom and pop stores like participating in it. So you walk by and you hear the strands of like the music from the game, and you're like, oh, I have to go in there, and then follow. It was like.
Well, they always have like in the stores. There's always like the certain like it's the in the store music. This is in the store.
Yeah.
Like, they tell you which store it is, so you have to like pop in each store. Like is this? No, you guys don't care. And there's the regular stuff you can buy, but it's like, is this where I get the sword? It's like, oh, you got the stuff.
Nice.
So taking it and just bringing it out.
Yeah, expanding the world a bit. Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, we had G.I. Joe. And we were talking about bringing it back to its roots of action figures and wanting kids to get together and play with action figures again, use their animation to carry out battles, not just on the computer. So we thought about having action figures that are memory cards and have near-field communication with each other. And as kids are playing with, their toy with their friends' toys, they're earning experience for some online component, carrying data over, and you plug it into the computer, and maybe you're watching the battle that you just had on the screen or what have you.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Excellent. All right, last chance. Anything? Oh, yeah.
We had Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird franchises where everyone knows about it, but it's kind of faded from everyone's memory. And we thought it would be cool to bring it back and reincorporate it into society. So we were wondering, what was the coolest thing about it? And it was the technology. So if we released a mockumentary that was incredibly serious, and we took it seriously, and we somehow convinced everyone else that we believed it was real, and then we just continued on that track, and we had a Ghost Mythbusters crossover where they tested the technology, and then maybe on the Ghost Medium shows where they go into the ancient prisons, they're using our technology. Slowly but surely people would be like, wait, what is this? When did this come out? And it would become a part of society again, but in a different aspect. It wouldn't be fake, it would be fake real.
Fake real.
Nice.
Reality's a perspective.
Completely subjective.
Great. Anyone else? Any other franchises? Anything else that you want people to talk about? No? Great. Well, so that's the end of our little game time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually break into the groups that we will be jamming with. So this is an opportunity for everyone to take a look at all the people that you've met, start thinking about what you want to do, who you want to start working with and teaming up with, and start pulling yourself into groups. Some things to keep in mind is that on these badges it gives you an idea of some of the skill sets that you have. And so it's not a bad thing if all the skill sets are heavily weighted on one side or another, but generally as well it's good to find a good balance within a team. And so just, again, this is your opportunity to start working with people, to start kind of working on a story and an idea. Ideally, the groups were between 3 people and 5 people, but yeah. You have a little bit of time to do that. Once we feel like everyone's kind of broken up into a group, we'll actually then start giving you guys the actual parameters for the next 24 hours. All right? So...
And if somebody is lost, you can always come to us and we'll get you into a team or something.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate to talk
And
to
do
us.
we have people just show up as well?
Yeah. Hakeem, Emily.
Excellent.
Welcome.
You guys want to say hello? And
Hi, I'm Emily. I just showed up.
yeah, all right. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Hakeem.
Excellent. A little bit behind, background about you guys?
I studied engineering in college many moons ago as a professional student, but my real passion is with media, and I'm an emerging voice talent, and I've done some video editing, so a lot of things.
Nice. Great.
I'm in video production, and I also animate, and I'm creating transmedia projects right now. So, I'm interested in the field.
Excellent. All right, so those are our newcomers, and we can help you guys and kind of introduce you guys as well. But this is a great opportunity to just kind of get some beer, get some, and start kind of mingle around and start bringing the teams together. And in about 5-10 minutes, we'll actually give you guys parameters of what we're doing.
Yep. So.
Here we go.
Hey, good. Great. That was good. Did you try implanting in some of the other ones subtly? Hey, X2TV. Good. Yeah, we'll show off some of the things. We've got some jokes on the looking at some of this, kind of their critiques on it, and chat about their process and what they went through. Oh, they'll all be available starting Sunday.
How's everything going?
a while.
But obviously much more.
You know, part of it is just the idea of like, what can you accomplish in 24 hours? And the big thing, everyone is making a story. You know, it's not a pitch. You're not going to go through this and it's like at the end of it, it's like, this is our grand idea that we want to do. It's like, this is the story that we're telling. So it's like, you know, it might not be an app, or it might be like a crappy Flash game, but like there's something back behind there, or, you know, whatever it may be, you know? And so if people want to do app development, or they're putting their background in app development into the storytelling process, that's an opportunity. We're testing it.
Yes. Not a game.
I'm gonna check in with a couple people, but all right. Okay.
Let's, yeah. We'll stay for the special ingredients so that you can participate tomorrow.
We have 2 people looking for a group. Okay. So we also have 1 person coming in late. So and she's phenomenal. So
It's a good array of I was gonna say.
Sweet. All right. 1 round of drink. Alright, so let's get all the groups in.
Okay.
Alright. And then all have the groups. You all have like some sort of like unified color or well, alright, everybody!
We can do that tomorrow.
Alright, I'm gonna need everyone's attention. I'm gonna need everyone's attention. Alright. It's a little after 8 o'clock. So we're ready to get going. Everyone here is broken up into teams, is that correct? Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So you guys are tasked with telling a story. Okay? In 24 hours from now, each of your teams will tell a story. And it's not a pitch about a story, it's a story. Okay? I'm going to give you guys 5 ingredients. From those 5 ingredients, your story must include 3 of those. Okay? Your stories are going to be looked at about your best storytelling, the best use of your platform, the best use of the ingredients, and then the best transmedia world that you create. Okay? These are all things that are going to be sent to you, so if you can't write as fast as I speak, I know, that's why I'm saying it. It's okay. Like I said, it will get emailed out to you, and as well, I will go over it multiple times. Is everyone clear? Wow, authoritative. And another thing. Okay, so the 5 ingredients. Is everyone ready? The first ingredient is to use one of the sponsoring platforms. So you can either use Fordela, X2TV, Social Samba, or Conductor. Okay? The second is to personify an object as your main character. So that means if your main character is a chair, it's Cherry, and it goes through whatever sort of cherry adventures it does. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. The third ingredient is to work with another team and develop a combined story world. Okay? So looking at it as your story is telling one aspect of it, and then theirs is telling another aspect, and it's a combined world. And those worlds must find a way to intersect at some point. Okay? The fourth ingredient is a San Francisco landmark. Whatever it may be, something that is identifiable as being San Francisco, all right? The inclusion of that in your story. The fifth ingredient is to go into the challenge of telling a story in real time, okay? Whatever that may be, however that may be, thinking about the ideas of how you would tell a story as if it's actually happening in real time. So those are the 5 ingredients, choosing 3 of those and figuring out the best story you can tell with them. Is everyone clear?
Yeah. Well, I think what would be helpful for me is that we choose the object, choose the landmark, so we kind of know what.
Oh. We haven't broken up quite yet.
On it.
Sorry. Hold on.
Just to clarify the real time, does that mean
Sorry about that.
for like a live performance, or could that be another meaning?
All of these ingredients, hold on, I'm just going to need everyone's attention real quick. All these ingredients are generally going to be up to your interpretation of them. So if your interpretation is that it's a live performance, then it's a live performance. If it's something that plays out, it's a video that is like one long take, or it just happens like 24, then it's something like that. It could be whatever you want, okay? And so again, these are just here to help get your brain thinking about storytelling, okay? Now, as everyone goes off and breaks up into groups, the Transmedia SF groups, team members will go around and will be just checking in with you. As well, the mentors will be going around and actually kind of conversing with you, making sure that you're going in a positive track, that everything's going well. Before you leave tonight, I want to get just whoever your team leader is, whoever that person is, you guys kind of elect amongst yourselves of who your main contact person is going to be. I just want their name and their phone number. And as well, if you guys have a team name, that'd be sweet. And as well, if you have a basic story idea before leaving tonight, whatever that may be, and then what platform you may be using. What's important to note is if you want to use Conductor, you have to email tonight, and you have to email Robert. And so Robert is on.
Was here.
Robert's on hand, and he'll be able to give you guys access to it because his platform is in beta right now. Okay.
And talk to me if you want to go on Conductor. Robert is online right now. And there's a link here to what you need to do, but if you need any help in getting on it, just let me know. And Rob's still up. It's
all right.
3 a.m. in London. Sorry, guys.
So it is 8:10 p.m. At 8:10 p.m. Saturday night, everyone will have a story in one way or the other, and you are now free to move about the office.
Commented out. That's like the code that you have to put into. And then you press enter, and then that's level 1. Now you're on to level 2. You don't know what I'm talking about? I'll try to find one and bring it up. But it's basically like
the gameplay has to do with searching.
The gameplay has to do with being tech savvy. So it was it would just show you this screen. It would be like, find the code. It's like, how are you going to find the code? This is all you have. And if you know how to make a website, then maybe you'll check the source code to see if you can work around, and maybe the source code just even says, in plain JavaScript, if this is the code that's entered, then the player goes to this URL, and you can even copy paste the URL.
Sure.
But anyway, just that sort of.
You have a story then?
No.
What I like about that.
But we don't necessarily want to restrict it to being tech savvy. I just wanted to bring that up as that's the sort of. Yeah, exactly.
And I think that could work really well with finding a website URL within the application, and then you have to go to this website or finding a phone number that you have to call.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. That's what.
Yeah.
So obviously.
So the thing that I thought was interesting, because we were talking about phones, is something the phone itself is a character.
Yeah, they're giving us.
Oh, I like it.
Which is I know it's meta, and I know it's just, but it's perfect. But I like this idea a lot. So the idea that I've had that I've tried to tell my friend about was just straight up filming something from the perspective of an iPhone and having there's this. Werner Herzog movie where he narrates life as a plastic bag, and it comes from the perspective of a plastic bag, and it's just him being I am a plastic bag. I was born in a factory. It's just things like that. It's ridiculous, but I don't know. I like the idea of like your phone coming to life and being like, hey, like I don't know, like help me,
help me. Yeah,
help
no,
me,
that's what I'm.
help me.
That's
you
like,
know, like
yep.
I'm trapped or whatever.
Yeah, that's when you started talking about diffusing the bomb as a possible thought. It's like, yeah, your phone can. You have a relationship with your phone, right?
Exactly.
Like I just got my phone stolen the other day. I had to buy a new one. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right. So like your personal data, help me. All your data, you're gonna lose it all.
Right.
And it's interesting.
Oh man, you could even make it that. You could make it that hardcore where it factory resets your phone.
Right.
What's the name of your story?
No idea.
No, we're just
We're just
brainstorming. Free walling,
free balling.
Free balling.
Free balling? No, that's going commando.
I know. Okay, so real
Brainstorming.
time, defuse the bomb. So I like the time limit.
Well, the time limit makes sense because then we do real time.
Definitely,
time
exactly. And the story is unfolding in front of your eyes, and you're interacting with it. It's that's live. Yeah.
That's your story
Objects
length,
make
5 to 10 minutes.
And
well, we might be able to use this as a landmark, but
we'll think about
I
it.
think we could definitely use it as a landmark, or we can. I mean, we can see what other teams are doing.
It's optional, right? That's also possible. I think that.
What is conductor right now?
So I tried out the two tools.
What do you think? Social Samba did not look that interesting.
It was pretty boring, but we could make use of it. Like if it works on a mobile device, we could put something up there.
Okay.
It's an option. I think the SF landmark could be interesting because we're right next to the
Trans-American building. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Right?
Keep talking. I'm gonna go ask about Wi-Fi.
Thanks.
It's the guest doesn't work for you. Well, the web pages are loaded.
Okay, so let me just. I'm a visual guy. I kind of like the idea. Have you played those Flash games where you're sort of
let me know if that
it's
works.
a puzzle,
Yep, definitely. We'll find out.
but
We'll figure it out.
Isn't it fordela, I guess?
Yeah, he was
Is
saying.
it not working?
It's just being very slow. Sorry, what were we saying? Flash games.
There's these Flash games where you're like uncovering a puzzle. So you have it's like a little machine, and you click on it, and it'll like grow a little bit, and then you click on it, and like a little thing will pop out, and then you pump that up.
Grow?
Sure, grow cube, but like this is a.
Were you talking about like escape the room games?
I'm just talking about like the toy as puzzle as toy kind of game.
Yeah.
And how we could be doing that on our phone. So you were saying that like if the phone has an identity.
Yeah.
So let's say this is a digital version of like a circuit board. Okay. This is just like an idea. Cool. So there's like circuits and stuff. This is my like crude drawings of circuits.
Okay. Is this also somehow a face? Is that what we're going for? Or was that accidental?
No, that's totally accidental. But this is your phone.
Okay.
And sort of by playing with this thing, you're going to be able to unlock, like reveal other parts of it. You'll like flip it over on its back.
Sure.
And maybe be able to mess with it that way. But that's different. That's more like an object within your phone, within the phone itself. It's possible to do both if the phone is like, this is my memory core. It's corrupted.
Yeah.
And it displays it for you visually. Anyways, idea.
Is there a way to like I was just wondering, like, I don't know if this is possible at all on like iOS or like any phone to just have like an app that you open and it like appears that like nothing happens initially, but then I guess no, because I don't know, everything that whenever I think of like a phone coming to life, I always think of something just like happening. Like it's like not you like pressing something, it just
right. It just happens.
It just happens. Yeah. Like, you know,
we can do anything.
I know.
Yeah. We can do 2D, we can do 3D, we can do animations.
So let's. I think it might be important first to think about the story.
Since
Yeah.
there's so
And
much
story-
that
story-
we can
sto-
do.
story- and yeah, stories.
Since there's so much that we can do, like technically with the technology. Yeah.
So some story ideas,
yeah.
Let's pitch it.
We'll just.
Phone comes to life. Phones are actually
Phone
all
com-
really,
phone
phones
comes
are
to
all
life.
really aliens, and they need to go home. And the Transamerica building is the mothership, and they need to go home in it.
It's pretty good, man. I mean, yeah. How seriously do we want to take it too? Is another question. It's like we can make this funny.
You can make it funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be funny to take it completely seriously.
Yeah, totally.
That's hilarious.
Maybe to go home and
That was just
American.
that was just something I was thinking. It's like like we are an ancient alien race. We have been here.
That's so good. It's like our leader is gone. His job's died.
Oh no! I don't know.
Father is gone.
Yes, we must return.
Do we want
That's a little dark.
Do we want to say that phones are aliens, or do we want to put like a little alien in your phone, and your phone is a ship, or just throwing that out there?
I like the personifying the phone.
Yeah.
If you put a face, so instead of the circuit board, if the circuit board is a face,
No, because
right?
it's like,
Yeah, I mean what you drew there.
it looks very sad, but.
Cool. That's a cool. I've never seen that before.
What?
What? Just put a little
face in your phone.
face
That's
on your
weird.
phone. Yeah, yeah.
That's so weird.
That could be that could be enough.
Might be enough.
It's just like the face.
Facing your phone?
Yeah.
Facing the phone.
Well, I mean, faces are like I like the face thing. That's good. That gives
Do
us a
you
lot of
modify
mileage.
the circuits and stuff too over time, or is it just like?
Well, you could even like just make an image that looks like the inside of the phone, and just like it's just like you just fade in that image, so it looks like suddenly the phone is see-through or something. You could have all this fun with it. Too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah, I had that thought too, where it's like, here, let me show you like what's going
Yeah,
on.
I mean, yeah,
in
like,
your,
like
inside
I was
your
thinking,
phone.
like have you ever taken like a screenshot of an app and then you like, and then you actually think the screenshot is the app?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that happens to me constantly.
See, that's
so.
that's something that I thought would be cool too. Is if at any point we we do an iPhone app and we can have like within the app it looks like it just switched to like your messaging app, but then we could do whatever we want with that visually, like have shit start to melt or whatever. You know what I mean? Just like trick the person to thinking they're in another application, like they've left the game for a moment, but they actually have.
Just like a total story thing right now for some reason I just thought of, because Transamerica building kind of looks like a pyramid. For some reason I was talking about pyramids with my roommates like a few days ago, and how like people like still don't know apparently how the pyramids were built. Like there's like all these theories that are like brought out of how the pyramids are built, and just because like phones built the pyramids, and so like that's why they need the Transamerica building, is because like Transamerica built a pyramid and a spaceship. I don't know.
Is the climax of this game that you jump off the top of the Transamerica building?
What if you just get there? What if you just get to it?
We can make a compromise.
Or yeah.
Is it open to the public?
Can you go to the top of the Transamerica?
Maybe you just need to go to it at all.
Just go to it where we
Yeah.
can do that. Yeah. We just like get to it.
Can we do it in 24 hours?
Yeah.
Love it. Love the confidence. Love it.
Sam is the man who's riding on
We
the
have
board.
to
Would
use
you like
many
to be the
apps.
leader?
I can do that.
Comfortable with that?
Sure.
Sam.
What's your phone number, Sam?
818.
818.
It's 383.
383.
5864.
It's
It's
tried
511.
calling me.
Yeah. Did you try calling me?
And what's your team name?
Phones are people too.
Transamerica Media Blasters?
Phonely.
Transamerica Media Blasters?
What?
It's a mouthful, but
It's too much. It's too much. What do we
Team
need?
amazing.
Something small. One word. One syllable.
Transamerica, Transmedia.
Moblians.
You guys can give me the team name later.
We'll give you the team name.
That's a hard one. I'm sorry.
We haven't thought
Personal
about it
question.
yet. We haven't thought about it yet.
We're going
Personal
fast,
question.
but not that fast.
So,
The story. iPhones are aliens. iPhones built the pyramids. Possibly the same story. I like getting to the Transamerica building thing. Or even taking the phone.
what are we gonna do this in? Unity? Is that the easiest way to do it? Okay.
So what do we do? Is it just like no matter where you open it in San Francisco, it's like you have 10 minutes to get to San Francisco? It's like it could just be the phone like narrating a story to you, like talking about like their story, and it's like, and then like halfway through, it's like you have 5 minutes to get to the Transamerica. Get me to the Transamerica in the next 5 minutes.
My impression was that this game jam only happens here, and whenever we develop, no one ever uses it again.
Well, yeah.
What do you mean never use it again?
I mean, it's specific to this exact happening.
Yeah.
So it's disposable.
Yeah.
Which means that we can make it the Transamerica building.
Yeah.
And not worry about someone on the other end of San Francisco using this app because.
Oh, okay. So you can set that time limit since it's within walking distance, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
I mean, if we ever want to do anything with it afterwards, we can figure that out later.
Right. We can always change the building.
Well, we
to
also
the nearest landmark.
Also,
if we want to code it.
Also, the time limit that we gave ourselves is rather arbitrary. I think we could make 90% of it be a 10-minute limit, and then just have at the end it tells you, okay, now you got to get me to the Transamerica building in like 2 hours.
Right.
You know?
So like, if I knew how to do this, I would say it was easy, but I don't.
Right.
Goes into Google Maps, determines how quickly you can get to the Transamerica.
Oh, sure.
Multiplies that by 2.
That's too complicated. That's way too complicated.
No, we're not doing that today.
I don't think that's too
We're not doing
complicated.
that this 24-hour period.
I think arbitrary is good. I think you could just say like, it could be like just like imagine like the phone like. I'm imagining for some reason like the phone coming up is like the screen is like parts of the middle or something, and the face like comes out.
Yeah, I'm into that. What is the iPhone resolution? Is it 960 by 640?
Yep. Just looking at that the other day. It's like 300 something DPI, which you should also put in, because that'll give you the yeah, that'll give you the exact inches. You should look it up.
Right, I hear you.
I think it's on Wikipedia.
326.
Yeah, I actually just set up a template for it if you want to use that. It's got like the iPhone and it's
in Photoshop?
Photoshop done.
Sure. Did you connect? I got the internet to work.
What is the internet?
So it's fordela Wi-Fi.
Guest.
Password.
The password is fordela guest, one word.
Oh, for just fordela?
Yeah, exactly. It's not fordela guest.
No, wait. Go back.
The Wi-Fi name is fordela, not fordela guest. And the password is fordela guest.
There we go. Fordela guest.
San Francisco landmark in the car.
Yes, you came a bit late.
Cemetery?
It's got all this story. This white dot. I think we're doing this, which doesn't make a lot of sense yet.
Okay.
But
Especially
come back in a
first
little
glance.
bit.
Okay. They
You'll
built
have-
the pyramids, including the Transamerica building. Okay, I like it. That's good. That's good. So this is the team that hasn't got a name yet, then, right?
Right.
Oh. No name. Okay.
All the other teams have names or something?
They do.
Also the phonies? Phonies?
That's cool. Yeah, I'm into that.
I love it.
Phonies.
The phonies?
Yeah.
Okay, with a PH or an F?
PH.
Oh, you're thinking different now.
Phonera? Do you guys know phone?
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like telephonies.
Yeah, no worries.
No.
Okay, so the phonies with a PH. Is that what the team says?
I think
Sounds
by
like
popular demand. that's
I was just vocal about it. All right.
All right, so it seems like you guys are doing good, and I know
so.
that we've got like some technical skills and video skills, and okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to do. Should I just get the 30-day license?
But I think you can.
Everybody here is?
Like that version,
No.
which is probably the latest version. And then get the license for that.
Can I ask you what each function of each person is? Like he's
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, guys, what do you like to do?
He's the animator. He
I'm
said.
thinking I'll be doing any animations and just art.
Okay. And you?
Probably gameplay programming.
Okay, so you game producer.
I'd like to be doing the art part, but I can do some programming if needed.
Programming of the game.
Yeah, because I have half of the computer science.
Oh, okay, okay. And you?
I do writing and I'm like storytelling structure and stuff. So I guess that'll be my thing.
Because this is transmedia, right?
We're
gonna need a lot of content across different mediums. Need that. Right now, I think we're just gonna need like a lot of text, a lot of like photos, right? Like, and we're gonna have to spend time learning the tools to put them on these other mediums, like using whatever the heck. I think we're just gonna need audio.
I think so too. I think audio.
No, maybe an extra SD card.
You should ask one of the organizers because
Now we cover all our bases.
Are you guys considering doing the possibility for you guys? I'm going to go around and see if there's other teams that are interested, and if there are, I'll sort of let you guys know who those teams are, and then you can choose to either talk to them or not.
Sounds good. I'm just trying to figure like how does this start? Is it like somebody opens an app and it sort of looks like a phone, or
I liked, well, I don't know, just the thought came to me of like starting with you get a text message from your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get a text message and maybe it has a link to a URL, or maybe it asks you to download the app in the first place.
Yeah.
Or
just please download.
Or even an email would be actually probably easier to.
on their phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we will
take their phone.
Take their phone and put it on their phone.
Okay.
That's going to be because it's a huge headache to set up.
Set up like any sort of
Yeah.
Sure.
Any other way to do it would require them getting on their computer, getting onto iTunes, and then like exporting it onto their phone.
Yeah.
And it's a whole process.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess with the iPhone you can't really just like download an APK and install.
No,
it.
you can't. But you know what we can say? We can say that you'll find this through a link sent text to your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can tell them that upfront story. Before they start it, so they have a sense of how this would work in a real world situation. Awesome. So there's a website called eVoice.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, you might want to check this out.
And it's like a. Okay. Oh.
Virtual phone.
Can you make like, press 1 to, that whole thing?
Audio attendant. Regardless of the size of your business, our auto attendant creates the appearance of multiple departments and employees. I love it.
Yeah, you could force people to go through this entire network to go to the one person who answers all your calls.
Hey, Dad. What are you talking about? I just go very impressive. Department Sales, Marketing, Administration. And hey, I love your new receptionist British accent. I know my business sounds pretty big, right? But believe it or not, it's still just me. You gotta be kidding. With professionally recorded meetings and advanced
So that also gives us like conspiracy style big corporation options.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
We're getting to the bottom of it, Who really made your iPhone? Where did that design really come from?
Should it be like, do we want to make it like all iPhones, or do we want it to be like this iPhone is an imposter? Kind of like, in Transformers they have, all the technology that like ends up being a transformer actually, right?
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
that's right.
Okay. I haven't seen Transformers.
Oh, you haven't?
But
Okay.
you gave me a thought.
Yeah. So
which is
in,
basically-
Wait, hold
in
on.
the-
Do we know that the judges are gonna have iPhones? Because if they don't,
We'll give them ours.
okay.
They'll have iPhones.
But are they judging over like an extended period of time, or is
No,
it?
I think it's just in the afternoon,
Okay.
and then we have an after party afterwards. If it's anything like a jam I've been to, we should check. That's
Well,
a good point.
I'll check the email says.
Because what you were saying gave me this thought that, like, when you download this app, it
Brings your phone to life? Okay.
makes it sentient.
Yeah. Alright.
And then it's really an imposter.
I'm starting to wonder, like, are we, like, should we just like really just like nail down this story and then figure? Because I'm worried we're trying to get ahead. Like, and this is something that I do all the time. I'm just like thinking like, oh my god, it'd be cool to do this. It'd be cool to do this. It'd be cool to do this. And suddenly like you have 6 different like 6 fragments of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I think yes on all accounts.
Yeah.
We gotta get the story figured out, but we're also kind of still brainstorming about what our
what exactly we want to do. And you're right. You know, we don't have to stick with this like phones are alive thing. I like this idea of like imagine. I mean, you know, like if we can do something with like an actual phone number that you call in, we could do this like, you know, call center from hell or something. I mean, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm just
It's
wondering,
an
are we? Yeah.
So I was basically like, what I wanted to know was like, what medias are we interested in incorporating into this project?
Got it.
Like, what do we have time for? And then how can we use those to tell an interesting story?
Okay.
It's
Yes.
like, you know, but I
So
think to
should we
make that
make-
bridge, you gotta come from the story side too. So
Yeah,
let's
you're
do
right.
that.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. So I mean, I like this idea. Like the phones are alive. The phones are something else. We all like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then I think the other thing we need to do is which mediums do exactly what we want to use. We have. I mean,
you know, well, it'd be pretty easy to do, like, I could make a simple website very fast.
Okay.
So if we have, whatever happens on the mobile app, whatever happens on your phone, have them have to visit this website, easy. So we can have a website that's like a fake, you know, whatever corporation or conspiracy theorist website, have that be a part of it. In-app website.
Secret website and voicemail.
So basically we're making an ARG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of like an app, does it count if we... So this is where the transmedia part confuses me. Like, if there's like a game and then like simulated texting, would those be like one thing or 2 things?
It's kind of 2 things. I mean, that's, you know, that's going to be up to the judges, really. But
Probably.
I mean,
it's
but,
more
well, I guess it.
Like you mean like it's faked within the phone,
It's like fake texting, but it's still as if you were like texting or something.
but it's in the app itself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That could be. Oh.
Well then, text input's hard, but fake something else that you would normally do on an iPhone, like home
Well, what if
screen
it was like
navigation.
you receiving text and not you actually texting?
That's
Well,
interesting.
yeah, I mean, if we were going to do something that's not, I mean, one of the thoughts that I had, and I don't know how feasible it is at all, is like having actually like a Google Voice number send you a text, for example. If that's out of the question, then I don't think it would be so hard to build like a simple UI that like is kind of a messaging app. It doesn't have to look exactly like the iOS messaging app. You know what I mean?
Well, we can't do something through Twilio or something that just like sends. Like we do a thing, you open this app or whatever, you enter your phone number and your name, and then it looks like you're on your home screen again, and suddenly you get a text message. Like, I guess that would take you out of the app, wouldn't it? That's part of the issue.
Well, we can do texting. We can actually send a text to your phone, so that's okay.
That's
Yeah?
If that's
You know
what
how
the
to
question
do
is.
that?
No.
Oh. but we can figure it out, and you know it's possible and not too hard. Maybe not.
It's
maybe.
possible.
It's definitely possible. Is it feasible? Okay. All
I
right.
think it's possible to set up a like a Google Voice thing and have it register your phone number potentially, and then send texts to that number. Or when we send you to a web, there are ways around it. Is basically what I'm saying. Like we can figure that out if we absolutely need it.
Okay.
I haven't looked into it though.
And then we have, I guess, like, what else do we have available to us? Maps, sort of. Not really.
Is this okay for 5 minutes? For like 5 to 10 minutes?
That might be enough. Yeah.
I think
So you want to do the voicemail service? What's the online registration?
that's the idea, possibly related to the website, where you're inputting your own personal information.
Wait, would the voicemail be something that we record and we just like send to the phone?
The voicemail is like they call a phone number and they
Oh.
get that messaging service.
Oh, got it.
Based on e-voice or whatever.
Okay, got it. That could even happen like at the end, almost in a way. It'd be like a thank you from the phone or from the people who were chasing.
We can use it in multiple ways.
Yeah, we could use it multiple times too.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, I like that as being like a good interface to whatever this organization, because it is like an organizational service, right? When you call those things.
Yeah. But we can also use it in a very like straightforward way where it's you just pick up someone and they just start talking to you and it sounds like it was a voicemail, but
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. More straight up, just
Or it
re-recorded
could be a
this.
puzzle.
I kind of like the puzzle idea, but I don't know how easy it is to record your own voice in the voice messaging thing, or if you are picking from a set of presets.
So in about 10-15 minutes.
We're going to meet up with...
Well, every team's going to choose an emissary. That person's going to come together with the other emissaries from the groups that are willing to chat about if their ideas will work. If there's something that seems working based off of what you guys talk about, you can start melding the groups together. Otherwise, you can go back to your group and keep on working.
Cool.
Okay.
Good.
I can be emissary if you guys want. Or
Sure.
figure it out.
So story. So we've got these pillars of mediums. We have the application, we have the website, and we have the voicemail or just audio, a phone call.
So what story can we tell with those three
Well,
things?
is the phone going to be like openly friendly, like, hey, or do you want to make it so that maybe you accidentally like hacked into something and you're finding out stuff you shouldn't know and your phone's trying to like...
Right. So something that I thought up would be cool if the app tells you to go to the website, and the website gives you this code, and then you call the voicemail and like it has maybe like the press 1 for this and et cetera, but you don't do that. You press like # like 0056 and you get like somebody that sounds like they're like live, and they say like, hey, listen, I don't know how you got this code, but you need to hang up right now and just like put this code in your phone, okay? And then they hang up on you. You know, so something like that. You could have it. You have it be something you have to navigate. You know, like, oh, okay, I'm just looking for the
Or what if you
this
navigated
extension.
it and then like the numbers that you enter in make some kind of code for something you have to input somewhere else?
Yeah.
Unless that's like too confusing and the person goes
Yeah,
in circles and then they're like, oh crap, I clicked wrong.
Well, no, it's good. I mean, it sounds like the easiest thing we could do, like path-wise, is just make it a series of codes that a person has to visit different media to get the code.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
You want to start with that and just do.
That sounds good.
Okay,
And
let's start with that. We can elaborate off of that wherever we see fit.
But that seems like the basic structure.
Yeah, basic structure is going to be open the app, get the code, maybe go to the website,
Which is like how
get
do you
a
connect
code.
a story? How do you put a story around that?
Well, the story, I think, part of the story can come out of how you get the code in the app. So, like, we have to seed the story in every medium.
Yeah.
So, the very first thing you do when you see the app open could tell you a little bit about, that's like the rabbit hole moments. So that means that's like a critical moment to get people like sucked in. If the phone glitches out, that's kind of interesting. If it just opens up to your home page again, that's interesting but very difficult to do because we don't have everyone's homepage.
Okay, so how about this? I don't think it needs to be your homepage. It can be a standard homepage. So what I'm picturing is you open this app, it suddenly looks like a homepage. Like maybe
Like your
even
iPhone
you can do it around, but and then like 3 seconds later, like it literally just like
yeah, like peels apart.
Like
you
yeah,
were
that's
saying.
exactly what I'm thinking. Like I had like I don't know. How do you go to the other page? No, go to the other page. I hate this app.
What app is it?
This is paper journal. So the idea is like
Right,
you start
it opens
here,
up, okay.
and then it like opens up, and there's a face behind, and you start getting like, and imagine getting like a little bit of the story, like from the phone's perspective. The phone is like talking to you. There's a little mouth. The phone's talking to you. It's like, help. I need you. Like if you downloaded this, you open this, it means that you are the chosen one, and you need to help me and my people return. And then like maybe halfway through the conversation, it like glitches out. You get a text message or something that's like, or it's like, call this number right now. And you call the number, and it's like, if you're receiving this message because you're breaching security right now, press 1 to talk to whatever, talk to the CIA. Or,
Can you write up
and then like
these
period.
steps?
Yeah.
These are good.
Okay.
So I like the idea of the phone needing your help, especially since we're using a voice service.
Yeah.
Right? We might have the phone. Maybe we could just have the phone talk to you in text, but maybe we could have it use voice. But if we have it talk to you in text,
Yeah,
if we have it talk to you in text, it could be like,
Text
it
is
could be
fine.
like, listen, I need you because I don't have a voice. Like my voice doesn't
yeah,
work
exactly.
for this like
open app.
Although I guess Siri, phone does kind of have a voice now. So never mind.
Like it cuts out the 5, then text.
Wait, do you do 2D or 3D animation?
I 2D.
Okay.
Yeah, 2D, 3D.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't.
I mean, we can experiment.
It sounds like now I'm probably just gonna
It
put this
seems
website
2D.
together.
Mhm.
But I mean, all I really know is Flash.
It can be a call this number, or it can be like go to this website or something. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, sure. Let's start with go to the website. I kind of want to leave the call the number for a little bit
later.
Yeah, that's a very dramatic reveal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
I think it might even be good if like it might be good.
Do we want to save the reveal of the phone being alive for like later? Do we want to make? I think we got to make it.
Good
I think
question.
you're right though. We need
Good
to make
question.
it. We need to make it like kind of interesting right off, and like the idea of like the phone saying like
The other question is, do we want to tell a story or do we want to challenge the player at all? Like, because I was thinking like
that's the whole world.
We can put this website together and we can just have the phone number in the contact us, and people might not necessarily think to call it. We won't tell them directly to call it, but if all they have is this website and they don't have a lot of information, yeah, exactly. So we want to kind of develop some sort of puzzle to.
So going from the website to the phone number is cool because you're doing this all on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It might be departing from the hub idea, but
Yeah, and does it take it away from the real time sort of thing?
But the game thing, the idea that it's a game that this is a puzzle, I like.
Yeah.
And I want to keep. And I also like that if it's real time, there's pressure to actually be solving this puzzle.
Well, so before it cuts out, it could be like, help, like hurry, like I only have 5 minutes, or we only have 10 minutes. So that can be a thing.
And then you have to put like a serious thing, or else the player, like, give the stakes up front.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we need a Y right up front. So like 10 minutes until we all, I don't know, what would you think for the phone? We all cease to be, or...
I mean, the scariest thing to me is like getting my phone wiped of all of its stuff.
Well, what if it's not just like your phone? What if it's all
Do you have an
phones?
emissary?
Or do you want it to just be your phone? Do you want to keep it to just
The
be
red
one
guy.
phone or all phones?
Personal if it's one
Or
phone.
Do you want to be
should
the
be personal?
emissary or?
Yeah, sure. I'll be interested. Sure.
Okay. Sure. You have a good idea of what your idea is and all that. I mean, you guys can keep working. We'll, you know, this should be
Or do you
relatively
want to
short.
go
Bit more
more
than
scale? You're thinking like tech.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. Yeah. Okay.
Throughout the day. And if it happens from morning to night or it happens over the course of a week, then that's how long it takes them. You know, you can watch one aspect of the story that, you know, a different facet that is more film or cut, but, you know, or plenty of ideas that other teams have talked about. But yeah, so one facet might be in real time where one facet might not. What are you guys thinking of? What are your ideas so far for that? Or did you have any kind of
triangle love story?
Okay, so love story. So social samba.
Oh yeah, that's what we said. Social samba.
Yes, because that could be a real time, you know, thing, or it's like, well, it takes a week.
And they use social samba to communicate with each other, right? The two main people in love.
So that could work out. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Groovy. Let me know if you have any other more specific questions. We'll be around.
Cool. We're all right. You got a bachelor?
What?
You got a bachelor? We're waiting for the bachelor to come by here. What do you mean? From one other group in the back.
No, I'm streetcar, a buying woman, and a lesbian. Got all three.
Yeah.
That's like 48 hours to try to
Trouble.